Well guys, I think Rick has spent too much time alone. He doesn't have a Morty to shield his brainwaves, so let's take care of that. Rick and Morty is one of those shows that just seems to come out of nowhere and blows up quickly. Before you know it, everyone around you is talking about it, which I think is great because it's a funny, adult humor show with lots of science-based humor and plot. So if you haven't seen it yet, fix that. It's on Hulu and the third season is about to come out, and I'm super excited for it. The show revolves around a 14-year-old boy named Morty, who we're creating in this video, and his insane genius grandfather Rick. The show pays homage to Back to the Future's Doc Brown and Marty McFly, and a lot of the episodes explore the dynamic of Morty still being in school, so his parents want him to stay in school to learn, but Rick has other ideas and constantly pulls Morty out to go on crazy adventures.
But I'll tell you how I feel about school, Jerry. It's a waste of time. Bunch of people running around, bumping into each other. Guy up front says 2 + 2. People in the back say 4. Then the bell rings. They give you a carton of milk and a piece of paper that says you can go take a dump or something. I mean, it's not a place for smart people, Jerry. I know that's not a popular opinion. That's my 2 cents on the issue.
Morty is a very interesting character in the show. He doesn't seem like it in the beginning, and everyone around him is always commenting that he's stupid or has a mental disability, but as the story progresses, you'll quickly start to realize that Morty is quite a bit deeper and more intelligent than everyone gives him credit for. I actually find him to be the most relatable character in the show, because aside from being one of the few human members of the cast, he's also extremely down to earth, and that allows him to sort of be our window into the crazy world that Rick takes us to. When the story takes them to an alien world with a ton of crazy creatures and things going on, Rick seems unfazed as he does this sort of thing all the time. But Morty is experiencing a lot of this for the first time and reacts accordingly. Most of the time, it's freaking out and asking Rick a lot of questions that in turn fills us in on what's going on. Without characters like this to ground the craziness, the show would most likely just seem silly and hard to follow. In order to talk about this next section, there are actually some minor spoilers if you haven't actually watched Rick and Morty, so if you don't want to hear them, click away right now or go to the end of the video where I'm showing off the finished model. Towards the end of the first season, during the episode Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind, it's revealed that there's a council of Ricks that come together across many different dimensions. However, the show's main Rick C-137, wouldn't join their council.
Rick Sanchez of Earth Dimension C-137. You are under arrest for crimes against alternate Ricks by the authority of the Trans-Dimensional Council of Ricks. Everybody relax. If I know these a-holes, and I am these a-holes, they just want to haul me to their stupid clubhouse and waste my time with a bunch of questions.
They say that 27 Ricks from other dimensions have turned up dead and their respective Mortys have been stolen. So the council is accusing Rick C-137 of doing it. As the story unfolds, they find out that an evil Rick has taken all of the Mortys and strapped them to a dome and torturing them in order to hide his presence. At one point in the episode, Morty makes a comment saying that they must have a special relationship considering how many different dimensions had a Rick and Morty pairing. But Rick drops the bomb that the only reason for that is, to put it in simple terms, Morty's stupid brainwaves hide Rick's smart brainwaves. So this is a pretty big story point and really explains a lot of the dynamic between Rick and Morty, and obviously makes Morty feel like crap. But I think there's more to the story, because even though everyone calls Morty stupid, he shows several times throughout the show that he is capable of making very quick and intelligent decisions.
Oh, for crying out, he's got some kind of disability or something. Is that what you want us to say?
I do?
And there's also the fact that they say Rick has been missing for 14 years prior to the show's start, and Morty is 14 years old. There are a few pictures of Rick holding a baby, but I still think that with how intelligent the show is, they'll end up linking it somehow and reveal that there's a deeper reason for why Rick always takes Morty with him. So a lot of this is why I see Morty as an interesting character. He's insecure, often caught in the middle of his family fighting, he's constantly told that he's stupid and believes it because he doesn't know otherwise, but he's definitely not as stupid as everyone makes him out to be, and he has an incredibly strong moral standing. He's sort of the underdog of the show, and we're all rooting for him. But one thing is for sure, there's going to be a ton of weird and spectacular adventures coming in Season 3, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Well, here he is, the finished Morty. Let's get him up there on the shelf because Rick looks ridiculous sitting by himself like that. But before I put him up there, I wanted to call out this little stand that I made. It's basically just a little flat cylinder. It works really good, and it just gives them a little more balance, because both Rick and Morty can stand on their own, but they're very, very top heavy, so little bumps will knock them over. So I printed one of these for Rick too, so these guys will stand a lot better. There we go. I think that looks a lot better. But you know, the shelf is still pretty empty. I think we should fill this up a little bit more. I'm gonna put a poll up in the corner over here. Click the little eye, you can take the poll. I'm gonna have a couple options for different things that we can put on this shelf from the Rick and Morty universe. Mr. Poopy Butthole and Mr. Meeseeks have been the most requested on my channel, but I'm gonna put a few more options up there just in case. I will eventually do all of those, but just which one comes first. And I'm hoping to increase the frequency of these videos, so I'm expecting that video to come out in less than a month's time. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep creating.